Let's get things rolling with our NBA Daily 10. Let's do 10 minutes on the clock, but let's do another extra 5 minutes since we have to do our NBA power rankings as well. So let's make sure we have enough time to fit all that in. So let's put 15 minutes on the clock here. Next 15 minutes of uninterrupted basketball talk of what just happened yesterday in the NBA. And the 15 minutes start right now. Alrighty, pretty busy day in the NBA last night, so let's start with the first game, the Knicks at the Hornets, and another loss here for this Knicks team, losing 104-96 over the Hornets. Let's start here with the Knicks. Once again, Kemba Walker back in the starting lineup here, and just having Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker both in the starting lineup, I think it's too inconsistent. Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, they're just too spotty of players, in my opinion, to have them both in the starting lineup. I really want to see Derrick Rose be the one if you're having Evan Fournier at the 2. So Kemba Walker had a good game, led the team in scoring 26 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, shot a decent 4 of 9 from 3, and 47% on 19 shots. Evan Fournier, though, coming up a little bit small out there, 5.6 rebounds. He only took 6 shots, but I mean, he's really got to be kind of the number 2 scorer. Julius Randle's kind of your number 1 scorer. You get Evan Fournier as your number 2. Kemba Walker's the facilitator, but Kemba Walker taking 19 shots. We know, he likes to put up a lot of shots and try to score, but, we see, he had 2 games, like 2 good games back to back 2 weeks ago. This week he hasn't really done anything besides this game, so I just don't like Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, I guess, in the starting lineup together. But Kemba Walker had a good game, so we can't knock it too much, but we get the spottiness of both those players. We had Derrick Rose off the bench with 8 points and 2 assists only in 17 minutes, but he was a plus 15 on the floor, real solid. Back to the starting lineup here for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson at the 5, 11.6 rebounds. Julius Randle, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot absolutely awful last night. 26% on 15 shots. And the same thing with RJ Barrett. 2 points on 9 shots, 11% shooting from the field. So, all their kind of starters kind of let him down. Kemba Walker tried his damnedest. Unfortunately, it was not enough. The Knicks end up losing. Now for the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, 12 points, 17 rebounds. LaMelo Ball's getting 17 boards. Jeez Louise. 9 assists, 5 steals, 12 points. Fantastic. Didn't shoot well, but everything else was fantastic last night for LaMelo Ball. 0 of 5 from 3 and 30% on 13 shots. Definitely could be a lot better. Terry Rozier, 18 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Mason Plumlee down low, 6 points, 11 rebounds. Miles Bridges, 24 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Gordon Hayward, 22 big old points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. So, I mean, what a game by the really good starting lineup here by the Hornets. And then off the bench, Kelly Oubre Jr., 12 points, 2 rebounds. I'll take that. He shot 4 of 10 from 3. That's all we really need from Kelly Oubre Jr. I would really like to see him kind of at 15 points every single game off the bench, but I'll take 12, 10 to 12. No problem there. So, well done with the Hornets. Another win. And they go on at home and beat the Knicks. Very well done. All right, next game up here, we get the Bucks in the Celtics, and this goes into overtime, and the Bucks lose. Oh, no. Celtics get the win 122-113. And is this Celtics team better without Jaylen Brown than with? It's starting to seem like that. So, once again, Marcus Smart at the 1, Dennis Schroeder at the 2 here, filling in for no Jaylen Brown. And Dennis Schroeder had an absolutely great game, 38 points, 8 rebounds on 59% shooting. Fantastic. Marcus Smart, 19.6 rebounds, or 6 rebounds, 6 assists, filling in. Robert Williams, 12 points, 10 rebounds. Jason Tatum, 27 points, 11 rebounds. And then Al Horford still playing the 4 here, 9 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. So, man, oh man, something's clicking here for the Celtics team. They've been pretty solid this week. Dennis Schroeder's really been stepping it up. The bench is still a little bit lackluster, so we're still not really buying the Celtics team 100%. And we are, unfortunately, still leaving them out of our top 10 in our power rankings when we get to that in a couple of minutes. But I guess we'll give credit to Dennis Schroeder for kind of carrying the load so far, but we need to get this bench. The bench really needs something here for the Celtics. Leading scorer for the bench was Josh Richardson, 8 points, 6 rebounds on 33% shooting, 28 minutes off the bench. But other than that, nothing else really great. Aaron Nesmith only playing 5 minutes. Peyton Pritchard not playing at all, not getting those young guys involved, and just nothing good on this Celtics bench. But they got the win. Starters taking care of business. Then, talking about this Bucks team, still no Brook Lopez, so still not at 100% full strength out here, but they're getting there. George Hill still playing the one, 16 points, 3 assists. Drew Holiday, 17 points, 13 assists. Bobby Portis down low filling in for Brook Lopez. Led the team in scoring, actually, with 22 points, 6 rebounds. Pat Connaughton, 15 points, 5 rebounds. And Grayson Allen, 21 points. No Giannis either last night, but Grayson Allen, 5 of 9 from 3. Bobby Portis led the team in scoring. Once again, really great pieces here for this Bucks team. Just a little bit with the injuries so far early on in the season, but overall, this Bucks team has the infrastructure when they're all healthy to make it deep, to potentially repeat as champions. I'm loving Grayson Allen out here, and Bobby Portis still getting it done too. So, Bucks, they made it competitive. Unfortunate, just in overtime, they get the loss there and lose by 9, 122 to 113. All right, then we get the Pistons at the Cavs, and another big win for this Cavs team, folks. I know this Pistons team isn't anything good, but the fact that the Cavs lost Colin Sexton and are still continuing to win games, I mean, that's super impressive. So another win here for the Cavs, winning 98-78, a nice 20-point domination win here for this Cavs team. So Darius Garland at the 1, and then Isaac Okoro filling in for the 2 there. So Darius Garland goes 21 points, 7 assists. Isaac Okoro, 9 points, 9 rebounds. Jared Allen, 11 points, 7 rebounds. Evan Mobley, another huge key component to this Cavs team, 16 points, 7 rebounds. He was a plus 29 on the floor. Very fantastic. And then Dean Wade at the 3 points and 3 assists. Off the bench here, C.D. Osman, baby, 17 points. Yes, sir. We're starting to get really solid production out here from C.D. Osman. Ricky Rubio, we see some solid production from him off the bench here. Over the last kind of week and a half. Ricky Rubio didn't shoot the best, but 5 points, 9 assists, and 5 steals, and a plus 15 on the floor. We'll take that. 22% shooting on 9 shots. So, this Cavs team can definitely kind of pick up the scoring production needed that Colin Sexton gave this Cavs team. So, well done to this Cavs team. And stick around when we do our NBA Power Rankings. We're going to kind of tip our cap to this Cavs team in the Power Rankings, folks. I'm loving it. And then for the Pistons, a loss that shouldn't surprise anybody, only putting up 78 points. That shouldn't surprise anybody. This Cavs team, once again, is not good. Best 2 players, Jeremy Grant, 16 points, Sadiq Bey, 4 points. I mean, that's, once again, not going to get it done. So, Cade Cunningham trying out here, 9 points, 6 rebounds, not getting it done. Nothing good on this Pistons team. All right, then we get the Blazers at the Rockets, and finally the Blazers win a game because it's against a not good team. Unfortunate. So the Blazers get it done. Damian Lillard, 20 points, 7 assists. CJ McCollum, 17 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Nurkic, 12 points, 9 rebounds, all getting it done. Off the bench, anything great. Anthony Simons, 8 points. And then Nasir Little, 13 points and 14 rebounds off the bench. Well done for the Blazers. And then for the Rockets, well, Daniel Tice was in the starting lineup, so they lose the game. Classic. Kevin Porter Jr. led the team in scoring, 18 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and Jashawn Tate with 14 points, 6 rebounds. Christian Wood, 8 points and 15 rebounds. Just move Christian Wood to the 5, get Daniel Tice out of here, and move on. The man can't play. I guess we have to shout out Daniel Tice a little bit. He was a plus 6 on the floor in a loss. I'll give him that, but everything else, nothing good. He was just kind of lucky in his, how many minutes? He played 28 minutes. He was lucky in his 28 minutes that he was out on the floor. But overall, Rockets are not a good team, and they lose by 12. Then we get the Suns at the Grizzlies, and the Suns are alrighty. We were a little nervous about the Suns for the first kind of 8 games here, but they've really kind of stepped it up over the last week, winning, I think, 7 straight games over the last week and a half, 2 weeks here. So shout out to the Suns of picking up where they left off last season. Just took a couple of weeks to get acclimated into the everything kind of going as good as it did go last year when they made it to the finals. So Suns get another big O win here, winning 119-94 over the Grizzlies. Who's getting it done here for the Suns? Chris Paul, 15 points, 12 assists, fantastic. Devin Booker, 17 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. His scoring pace has really come down from last year, but they're still getting wins, so that's definitely great here for the Suns. We know Devin Booker's obviously their A1 tier 1 scorer on this team, but having the bench be reliable and consistent from the get-go, that's not what we really saw last season. It all kind of came together down the stretch, but now that they're getting it done really kind of from the jump this season, we can really start buying this Suns team a little bit more than we bought them last season. So this is great to see. Devin Booker, like we said, 17 points, 7 assists. JaVale McGee filling in for the 5 still without the big man down low, DeAndre Ayton, how could we forget the name? JaVale McGee, 9 points, 6 rebounds. Jay Crowder, 17 points, 5 rebounds. He shot 5 of 8 from 3. We know that's his game. And then McCall Bridges at the 3, 13 points. But this is great. Off the bench, we get Frank Kaminsky still getting it done. 8.6 rebounds. We'll take that. Cameron Payne, 10 points. Cameron Johnson, 12.7 rebounds. And then Abdel Nader, 10 points and 4 rebounds. So, once again, we really need this bench to really bring this team together. And that's what they've been doing the last 2 weeks, going 7 straight games with the wins. So, well done for the Suns. And we can definitely expect them to be high in our power rankings when we get to that segment. All right, and then we get the Grizzlies. What happened last night? Another loss for this team. John Morant goes 26 points, 6 assists, 12 rebounds. Unfortunately, it is not enough. Maybe missing Valanciunas a little bit more than they thought they would. D'Anthony Melton didn't get it done at the 2, 3 points on 5 shots. Steven Adams, replacing Valanciunas for the 5 points, 10 rebounds. Jaren Jackson Jr., 19 points, 4 rebounds, and then Desmond Bane, 9 points on 30% shooting. So John Morant is trying his damnedest in points, in facilitating the floor and getting the boards, all of that, but they are just coming up short every single night. What do they got? 4 wins so far this season? 6. They're 6-6. Ugh, nothing great for this Grizzlies team. Unfortunate, another loss. All right, then we get the Nets at the Pelicans, and another good win here for this Nets team, winning 120-112. Once again, what do the Pelicans have? Just Valanciunas. Now, they got great production from their starting lineup this game, and they were competitive, but we don't really expect them to keep this up without Brandon Ingram and not having Zion and all of that. So, well done for this Pelicans team. Unfortunately, still lost, though. Devontae Graham, 14.6 assists. A pretty solid night of what we've been seeing from this Pelicans team. This was the best game that they put up with this lineup here without having kind of their main guys. So Devontae Graham, 14.6 assists. We give him credit. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 16 points. Valanciunas, 20 points, 12 rebounds. He's the only one that's getting it done and is consistent here with this Pelicans team. Josh Hart, 13 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. And then Garrett Temple, 17 points and 6 rebounds. And they had some pretty good bench contribution as well from Herbert Jones, 11 points and 4 rebounds off the bench. Jackson Hayes, 9 points off the bench. And Trey Murphy, 8.6 rebounds off the bench. So this was their best game. Still, unfortunately, it results in a loss, still coming up a little bit short. Why? Because you've got Kevin Durant, 28 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds on 64% shooting. James Harden, 39 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. And Joe Harris finally resembling the Joe Harris that we all know and love out here. 24 points on 6 of 8 from 3. Exactly what we need from him, and that was kind of the big 3 for this Nets team. So we know Joe Harris can be a really great number 3 to this big 3 of the Nets. Obviously, he's not as good as Kyrie Irving, but he really can make up for the level of offensive production needed that you don't get without Kyrie Irving playing. I believe Joe Harris can fill in that offensive production, scoring the ball. That's what they need, and Joe Harris can do that. So Once again, James Harden, even with Kyrie Irving on this team, James Harden was kind of the point guard. Kyrie Irving didn't want to be the point guard. He just wanted to score. So that's what Joe Harris does. So the Nets still have a big three if Joe Harris is the Joe Harris from last year and of all his career, because he's always been really, really gosh dang good. So the big three for the Nets is finally back. Do we dare declare? Do we dare declare? We do dare declare, folks. Nets big three is back with Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Joe Harris instead of Kyrie Irving. So Nets get the nice win here, 120-112. Next game up, we get the Kings and the Thunder, and the Thunder win close here, winning 105-103, and they're on like a 4 or 5 game win streak here. So shout out to the Thunder. Lugens Dort finally getting it together here. 22 points, 5 rebounds on 50% shooting, fantastic. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander still doing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander things, 22 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, fantastic. Josh Giddey, 7 points. Jeremy Robinson Earl at the 5, 2 points, but the 14 boards. He didn't shoot good, 11% on 9 shots. And then Darius Bazley, 15 points and 8 rebounds at the 4. Off the bench, they got a great production from Trey Mann, 12 points and 2 rebounds. And then Kenrich Williams, 9 points and 5 rebounds off the bench as well. Alrighty, that is our 15 minutes, but we still got a lot to cover, so let's round it out here. So well done for the Thunder here. And then for the Kings, another unfortunate loss. Buddy Hield back down to the bench. Interesting. So once again, probably still looking to trade Buddy Hield. We saw him in the starting lineup last game, but then they're right back down to the bench here, so unfortunate. So Buddy Hield, expect him to be traded probably by the trade deadline still. Buddy Hield off the bench, 14 points, 5 assists, 4 of 9 from the 3. De'Aaron Fox, 16 points, 5 assists. Tyrese Halliburton, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Raquan Holmes at the 5, 16 points, 15 rebounds. A great night by him. And then Harrison Barnes, 21 points and 5 rebounds. Unfortunately, come up 2 points short here, losing 105-103. But well done for the Kings. Unfortunately, still not enough to get the win. All right, then we get the Mavericks at the Spurs, and the Mavericks might be turning a corner here, folks. This may be kind of the Mavericks getting back on track. They get the big old win, 123-109 over the Spurs. For the Mavericks, Luka Doncic, 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds. That's a triple-double, y'all. Kristaps Porzingis, 32 points, 7 rebounds, still playing the 4. Dorian Finney-Smith, 15.7 rebounds. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., still not really as good as he was last season. 5 points, 6 rebounds, but on 18% shooting, 0 of 5 from 3 on 11 shots from the field. So we really want to see Tim Hardaway Jr. be consistent and be as good as he was last year. That could really bring this Mavs team really closer to being one of the best teams in the league. But so far, they're just solid. I think they've been on a nice win streak here. What do we got? Do we got their win streaks up? What do they got? They're 8-4, so they got 8 wins so far. But over the last couple of games here, the Mavericks have really been getting it figured out. So we applaud them. And then lastly here, Jalen Brunson off the bench, 17 points and 3 assists. All right, and then for the Spurs, just nothing great. The leading scorer was Devin Vassell off the bench with 20 points. Then we had DeJounte Murray, 15 points. Keldon Johnson, 15 points. Doug McDermott, 14 points. So overall, a little lackluster from their starters, but they just come up a little bit short. So well done for the Mavericks. They're going on a nice little run here, and we'll see if they make our top 10 in our power rankings. All right, last 3 games here. We get the Hawks and the Nuggets, and another loss for this Hawks team. Womp, womp. Trae Young went 30 points and 9 assists, still coming up short. Bogdanovich, 10 points on 0 of 5 from the 3. Clint Capella, 14 points, 13 rebounds. John Collins, 26 points, 9 rebounds. Unfortunately, nothing good from their bench. Danilo Gallinari, 2 points on 7 shots. Kevin Huerter, 2 points on 6 shots. And then Cam Reddish, he had 8 points on 7 shots. Got to the line 3 times. So just unfortunate, man, this Hawks team not picking up where they left off, not even really resembling anything that they did last season. And with this Nuggets team, they don't have Michael Porter Jr., and they still get kind of blown out here. Aaron Gordon, 23 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. They need him to step up the scoring pace, and he did that last night, led the team in scoring, so well done to Aaron Gordon. Jokic still at the 5, obviously, 22 points, 10 assists, 19 rebounds, the triple-double for the reigning MVP. Monte Morris at the 1, 8 points, 4 assists, and then Will Barton, 5 points, 5 rebounds, but a nice bench production here from PJ Dozier, 12 points. off the bench. And then Bones Highland, 15 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. So the Nuggets, they're still getting it done without Michael Porter Jr., and they are able to beat this Hawks team 105-96. All right, then we get the Bulls and the Warriors, and man, oh man, what a game last night. Primetime game on ESPN late last night. Warriors get the win 119-93. Bulls were competitive in the first half, and the lead started to separate a little bit, but well done for the Warriors. A nice blowout win here, winning 119-93. And this Warriors team, folks, man, oh man, are they gosh dang good. Steph Curry, 40-piece, folks, 40 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 9 of 17 from the 3. Jeez Louise. Woof. Jordan Poole, 14 points, 3 steals, 2 assists. Kevon Looney still playing the 5 out here, 4 points, 10 rebounds. Draymond Green, 9 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Classic Draymond Green game. And then Andrew Wiggins, as solid as usual, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals as well. Off the bench, they get anything great? Nothing great, but good enough. Gary Payton, 8 points, 5 rebounds. Namaja Jellica, 6 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Andre Iguodala, 8 points. And then we had Jonathan Kuminga, 8 points as well off the bench. So Steph Curry does Steph Curry things. It's infectious. It gets everybody going. And man, oh man, they still don't have Klay Thompson. And then for the Bulls, just unfortunate here, not the best against the best teams in the league. So the Bulls still have a little bit to kind of figure out here to start beating the upper elite teams of the league. Lonzo Ball only had 5 points on 1 of 7 from 3 and 18% on 11 shots. He's a little streaky here so far, shooting the ball wise. And that's what we know of LaMelo Ball. That's why we do like LaMelo a little bit better than we like Lonzo. Their passing skills are about the same. I think I like LaMelo's a little bit more, but LaMelo's just a better, more consistent scorer than Lonzo is, and that's going to hurt this Bulls team as they progress forward. So Lonzo Ball, 5 points on 18% shooting, 4 steals, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Zach LaVine led the team in scoring 23 points, 6 rebounds. No big man down low for them, so they have to have Tony Bradley fill in, 3 points, 5 rebounds, a minus 13 on the floor. And then DeMar DeRozan, 18 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. And that was really it. Their 2 main scorers, they're only 2 scorers to get more than 10 points here, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. So truly missing Vucevic down low. But unfortunate here, Lonzo could not really kind of weather the storm. And then Derrick Jones Jr. off the bench, we had 9 points and 6 rebounds. Not bad. He shot 100% on 3 shots, got to the line twice, sunk them both, minus 8 on the floor. That's not bad for the 20 minutes that he was out there for this overall lackluster performance last night. So Warriors get the win. And then the last game on last night, Timberwolves at the Lakers, and the Timberwolves blow them out 107-83. Still no LeBron. And man, oh man, in the second half, the Timberwolves went on like a 50-30 run, folks. Nothing good here. So for this Lakers team, Anthony Davis still playing the 5 here, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, still a minus 16 on the floor, unfortunately. Russell Westbrook, 20 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 turnovers, a minus 32 on the floor. Yikes. And once again, these were the only 2 players to score over 10 points here for this squad. Carmelo, 3 points on 12 shots. He shot 8%. 8% last night. Malik Monk, 7 points on 11 shots. He shot 27% last night. So once again, we need Malik Monk and Carmelo Anthony to really kind of give us 15 plus points off the bench here. And they are a little well, Carmelo Anthony hasn't really been streaky, but Malik Monk has really been streaky out here and not able to get it done. Shout out to Dwight Howard, 9 points, 10 rebounds off the bench. Unfortunately, they still lose here without LeBron James. And then for the Timberwolves, folks, they get the win here. D'Angelo Russell, 22 points, 7 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, 29 points, 7 rebounds. Anthony Edwards, only 9 points last night. Little lackluster scoring the ball wise. 1 of 5 from 3 and 36% on 11 shots. But they're able to beat this even more lackluster Lakers team. So well done for the Timberwolves. We'll see if they can kind of build upon this and start beating some of the better teams out here. The win against the Lakers, this Lakers team isn't anything that great, folks. Alrighty, that was all the NBA from last night, but we have to do our power rankings. We usually do this on our Friday show. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to it yesterday, ran out of time, so let's rearrange our power rankings for this upcoming week, from the Fridays to the Fridays, folks. So these were our power rankings heading into this week. Once again, Friday to Friday. That's the week we're talking about. So here we go. We had Raptors at 10, Grizzlies at 9, Lakers at 8, Nets at 7, Bucks at 6, Jazz at 5, Warriors at 4, Bulls at 3, Heat at 2, and the 76ers at number 1. And we have a lot of shakeup here, which is no surprise. It's the beginning of the season. You know, teams, are they legit? Are they not legit? You know, starting to get past, the first week 1, 2, 3, all that. So, we can see a lot of kind of big movements for the first maybe month of these power rankings. But let's start rearranging them. Here we go. Let's start at number 10, a new number 10 team out here. And unfortunately, the Raptors are out of the top 10. We'll see if they can get back in here. Just a little bit of an overall not great week for them, but overall they still have a good squad. So they would probably be number like 11 or 12 in our power rankings. Unfortunately, have to move them out of the top 10. But we're going to give a little credit to this Cavs team, folks. We're going to move the Cavs to number 10 here. No Colin Sexton, but they're still finding ways to win with their other guard, Darius Garland, and then Evan Mobley stepping up as well. Obviously, we never have to worry about Jared Allen. He's so solid here. But over the last week for this Cavs team, they went 3-1, beating the Raptors, the Knicks, and the Pistons. And that's kind of really why the Raptors fell out of the top 10. The Raptors would have probably stayed at 10, but the Cavs beat them straight up here. So I give credit to this Cavs team, and then they did lose against the Wizards. I don't expect this Cavs team to stay in the top 10 here this long, but I wanted to shout them out and give them their due so far of winning without Colin Sexton. That is big time here. That is probably their second best player, first best player, whoever you want to call Darius Garland or Colin Sexton, their best player. He's out now, so well done for the Cavs. We give them credit. We'll see how long they can keep up this good level of play here. Evan Mobley, man, the man is getting it done. Jared Allen, always love him at the 5. So well done for the Cavs. We give them the 10th position. Alrighty, the new number 9 team. We're going to give this team a little bit of credit as well. They are the first team in the Eastern Conference, folks. Yes, you've heard this right. They are the best team in the Eastern Conference. I believe the record is 8-3. We're moving the Wizards to number 9. A great week overall. Went 3-0. They beat the Grizzlies, the Bucks, and the Cavs. Really good performances out here. Cavs, Bucks, Cavs are not, the best teams, but we're not going to knock teams for taking care of business, and that's what this Wizards team has been doing. Kyle Kuzma is looking like a really good number 2 to this team. Obviously, Bradley Beal, and then the bench, Montrezl Harrell, Denny Avdija, always able to get it done. So shout out to this Wizards team. They're winning games. Can't wait to see them hit a stretch of facing really good opponents and see how they take care of business. Are they at least competitive? I don't need to see this Wizards team beat the kind of best teams consistently. We just need to see them right now, early on in the season, be competitive. Show that they can hang with the big dogs in the NBA. So shout out to the Wizards. We're going to give them a chance here in the top 10, see what they do with it in this week's stretch to see if they can move up in the power rankings next Friday or if they fall off of the power rankings next Friday. But shout out to the Wizards at number 9. Alrighty, new number 8 team, Lakers, are officially off of the top 10, and I think we all know why. But the new number 8 team here, we're going to do the Jazz, falling back here from number 5 to number 8. Not the best week for this Jazz team, went 1-3. They beat the Hawks. That's not even a good win anymore. How unfortunate for the Atlanta Hawks. And then they ended up losing to the Heat, the Magic, and the Pacers. Losing to the Magic and the Pacers, what are we doing? Did y'all not even show up to those games? So Jazz, a little bit of iffy here this week. I'm pretty sure they can get it right back on track here for this week, but we do have to move them down to number 8. Some other good performances this week, and we're going to celebrate those teams. So Jazz moved down a couple of spots here. Alrighty, number 7 team is going to stay the Nets. We're keeping them at number 7. Alright, they went 4-1 this week, had 5 big old games, a packed week for this Nets team. They ended up beating the Pistons, the Raptors, the Magic, and the Pelicans. Once again, overall, not the best teams. And then they ended up losing to the Bulls. So we're still not really sure what we want to do with this Nets team. Obviously, Kevin Durant and James Harden are obviously fantastic. We just saw Joe Harris absolutely get it done last night, and we just said Joe Harris can be kind of the number 3 to this big 3 of the Nets here. So great job winning last night. Great job for the big 3 all getting it done. So we'll see what this Nets team can do this week. If they have some tough opponents on their schedule, hopefully they take advantage and beat those opponents so we can maybe potentially move them up a little bit here next Friday in our power rankings. But we will keep the Nets at number 7. Alrighty, new number 6 team, no longer the Bucks, and we're not worried about the Bucks. They just had a little bit of a bad week without Brook Lopez, so we're still loving what this Bucks team is. Unfortunately, they do have to move out of the top 10 for a little bit of a lackluster week, but overall, once again, they'd probably be like 11 or 12, maybe 13 as well. There's still a lot of great things to love about this Bucks team. They just aren't healthy down low at their big position, and that's really what they need. They do need Brook Lopez back. So Bucks are out of the top 10. New number 6 team, we are going to give a little bit of a nod here to the Nuggets, folks. Really good week here, especially without not having Michael Porter Jr., he was going to be out for a little bit, but unfortunately, he's done. He's done, folks. He's done. Michael Porter Jr. is officially done. The back gave out last season when he had a superb best season he ever had, but as the season progresses in the playoffs, the back tightened up, and now it's tightening up so far early this season. He's done, folks, and it kills me to say it because he's fantastic, but they still found ways to win, so that's huge reasons to celebrate this Nuggets team. They went 4-0 this week, beating the Rockets, the Heat, the Pacers, and the Hawks. Not the best teams overall, but still finding ways to win without having kind of your number 2 player, Michael Porter Jr., out on the floor, so we give him credit for taking care of business. We'll see how long they can stay in our top 10. I don't think they can stay that long, but we'll keep them in here as long as they keep winning games, and so far they're winning games, so we're not going to knock them too much out here. Well done for keeping it together. Nuggets at number 6. Alrighty, new number 5 team, and we got to give a huge round of applause for this team, folks. Wasn't in our top 10 coming into this week, and they go from outside the top 10 to number 5, leapfrogging everybody, loving this Clippers team. Yes, sir, the Clippers here at number 5. Man, oh man, so much credit to Paul George, Reggie Jackson, all getting it done. This isn't the best team on the floor, folks. They don't really have that many great pieces overall, but they're finding ways to get it done. Over the last week, went 4-0, beat the Timberwolves, the Hornets, the Blazers, and the Heat, finding ways to win games without Kawhi Leonard, who's probably not going to be there the entire regular season. So big shout out to this Clippers team for Paul George leading the charge, getting it done on a nightly basis. It's infectious. We're seeing these kind of role players for this Clippers team all getting better as the season progresses because Paul George is leading by example in being a true A1 tier 1 player for this Clippers team. So much respect to this Clippers team. What's their let me see where they are in the standings here in the Western Conference. What do we got here? They're number 6 for that right outside of the play-in tournament. A 6-game winning streak for this Clippers team, folks. Got to give them the credit they deserve, and that's exactly what we're doing here with them at number 5. Loving this Clippers team. We'll see if they can keep it up. I hope so. Alrighty, new number 4 team here. We're going to move the Bulls down 1 spot here from number 3 to number 4 this week. A little bit of a not great week. They ended up beating the Nets and the Mavericks, 2 solid opponents. Then they lose to the 76ers and the Warriors. Warriors just last night ended up kind of getting blown out a little bit. But yeah, overall this Bulls team, they've got kind of their core 4 that we absolutely love. They just have a little bit of trouble truly kind of beating the upper echelon best teams in the league. They have no problem taking care of business to the teams that are really below them, but once they have to face a team that's above them, like the Warriors last night, they do kind of flounder a little bit. Now, like we know, there was no Vucevic down low. That definitely hurts them a little bit. DeMar DeRozan didn't have one of his spectacular games, and Lonzo Ball floundered a little bit in the scoring department. But overall, this Bulls team, they're good. They're very, very good, folks. Their main kind of Big Four. They do have an official Big Four for this Clippers team. Zach LaVine, always really consistent out here. So we got to move him back one spot to make way for the number 3 team. And that's who we're going to put here, the 76ers at number 3. So they fall from number 1 to number 3 here. In the last week, they beat the Bulls, but then lost to the Knicks, the Bucks, and the Raptors. So, that's why we have the 76ers above the Bulls, because they beat them this week. Unfortunately, no kind of Joel Embiid for the majority of this week. I don't even think Joel Embiid was in for that Bulls game, was he? I can quickly see if I can bring that up quickly here. But overall, this 76ers team is very, very good. We're loving what Tyrese Maxey is bringing to this 76ers team. We just saw him step it up and put up, like a 30-point performance when they needed somebody to score the ball because Joel Embiid was not down there. And then Seth Curry was a little off that night. So Tyrese Maxey, he can facilitate the floor or be a scorer when they need him. Seth Curry's very good. We're getting Tobias Harris back. And then Joel Embiid is really the only kind of missing piece here that we really need to see kind of back 100% healthy for us to really kind of buy this team. Joel Embiid was playing this game, so yeah, we definitely got to move the 76ers above the Bulls like we have here. But 76ers, man, they're a deep team. They're fantastic, and no Ben Simmons, no problem. They don't even need him, folks. They don't need him. They just need Joel Embiid. That's it. So 76ers at 3, excuse me. New number 2 team, no longer the Heat, and it's unfortunate. We need Jimmy Butler back. So as soon as Jimmy Butler's back, we can start maybe thinking about putting this team back into our top 10. But we need that man back. He is the lifeblood. Overall, every other piece is fantastic. We just need to see Jimmy back. But new number 2 team and another team that was outside of the top 10 that made a big old jump. Shout out to the Clippers for making that jump. And shout out to the number 2 team here, the Suns. Oh my God, what a week here. What a kind of week and a half, honestly. 7-game winning streak for them. This last week went 4-0, beat the Hawks, the Kings, the Blazers, and the Grizzlies. All okay teams out here. But overall, we're getting the production from the main 5. The starting 5, no DeAndre Ayton, no problem. Cameron Payne, Cameron Johnson finally back together, playing off the bench here, back healthy, all of that, good scoring pace and production. Chris Paul's getting it done. Devin Booker doesn't need to be a kind of 25 to 30 point a night score for the Suns team to win. They're finding other players to score the ball, and the depth off the bench here is getting deeper as the season progresses, so that's great. So Suns make the big old jump to number 2, and then our number 1 team here, new number 1 team, no longer the 76ers. It's obviously, folks, the Warriors. Oh my goodness. Seth Curry, Jordan Poole getting it done. Kevon Looney at the 5. They have Kevon Looney at the 5 and are still winning games consistently out here. Steph Curry doing literally everything like we know he can do on a nightly basis out here. Over the last week, they beat the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Hawks, the Timberwolves, the Bulls. Bad teams, good teams, doesn't matter. They've only lost one so far this season, and they don't have Klay Thompson. Did we mention that already, folks? Absolutely great team for this Warriors team. They've got the scores. They've got the production. They got it all. Steve Kerr back to, in the eyes of the good graces of the media, being one of the best head coaches in this league. Jordan Poole playing absolutely fantastic out here, kind of the second best scorer for the squad, and they still are waiting for, once again, Klay Thompson. Did we mention that already? So they're 10-1, 11-1. Did they just move to 11-1 last night, or are they still 10-1? 11-1, folks. Holy moly, the Warriors are back, and that's means so much to the game of basketball, because once that Warriors dynasty, folks, I mean, is that one of the best teams to watch in the NBA, in NBA history? Overall, yeah, I would say yeah. Oh, yeah. This new kind of 2014 to current times Warriors is the best team to watch in NBA history, and they are number 1 in our power rankings, folks. So this is our new top 10 heading into this week next Friday. Cavs at 10, Wizards at 9, Jazz at 8, Nets at 7, Nuggets at 6, Clippers at 5, Bulls at 4, 76ers at 3, Suns at 2, and the Warriors, the best team in the league, at number 1. We'll see what changes. We'll see who's moving up, who's moving down, and what team outside of the top 10 cracks the top 10 next week. We saw 2 big old jumps. still big old jumps can happen, folks. It's still early on in the league. So shout out to the new top 10 in the NBA.